Most meditation teachers won't share this secret. Yet, this can be the difference between a fulfilling spiritual journey or ruining yours and the lives of the people closest to you. That's because there are 3 ways meditation can go seriously wrong. And this video will walk you through all of these, so that you'll know what to look out for. The first is by far the most important, and yet the most overlooked. When you start getting deeper into your practice, there will come a time when you don't recognize yourself. You'll sometimes feel intense physical discomfort and sleeping disturbance as the feeling that you associate with you will start to become more fluid and change. What you once considered necessary may feel irrelevant as you start making minor changes to your life. Still, eventually you might decide you need to leave your work, friend circle, and maybe even your family because they either don't understand what you're going through or you believe they are no longer a match for who you are becoming. This can cause a severe disruption of your daily life, as you break relationships and experience insecurity and anxiety on a level you have never had to deal with before. The practice you started to give you more stability and calmness in your life has now caused the opposite of what you set out to do. As this change comes over you, you will feel a solid pull towards something different. It's easy to believe that what you're searching for is something other than this world, and instead you look for meaning and purpose in the spiritual world. You might put yourself above others who aren't on the spiritual path, believing they are not as awakened as you, even though you are suffering more than they are. You'll feel a false sense of enlightenment that inflates your ego as you ignore your physical health and hurt the people closest to you by focusing solely on your spiritual journey to the detriment of everything else. This is often referred to as spiritual bypassing and is one of the things that will baffle the people around you the most, since it's clear to them that you are moving in a direction that will ruin you, even though you believe the opposite. If this is not dealt with, your inner experience can overwhelm you. Meditation does indeed help calm the mind, but when done long enough, it will also bring up things that can cause heightened anxiety. I've personally met many who, when releasing old trauma, have had panic attacks and caused them to lapse into deep depressions. There's also an element of more intensive meditation called the dark night of the soul, which by its very nature will make you have intrusive thoughts of existential anxiety as it wreaks havoc on your sleeping patterns and mental health. The psychosomatic and psychological symptoms that can be increased or even created from meditation might sound like something that only happens to others. Still, they are real and something you must consider when taking this journey so that they can be handled instead of having them overwhelm you. I want to make a distinction here. The more intensely you meditate, the faster and stronger these effects will be felt. Suppose you meditate 5 to 20 minutes daily and avoid getting too caught up in all the online spiritual madness. In that case, you'll most likely be able to handle these things and they'll be more of a nuisance when they come up. But when you start doing intensive retreats and go against your very nature, doing things far outside your comfort zone faster than you can handle, especially if you do so without guidance and with a history of mental health issues, that's when you need to take a step back and focus on the basics, or take a break from meditating altogether. One of the most accessible and down-to-earth practices is breathing meditation. You've been doing it your entire life, and you can do it for a few seconds or the whole day if you want to. There's also little dogma associated with it, so there's no need to change your beliefs or religion. Instead, it focuses on calming down your senses and becoming more aware of what's happening here and now. To learn more about this simplest but also most powerful meditation, I made this video here. It explains in great detail why breathing meditation is genius and why it's the only technique I started out with that I'm still doing today after years of meditating.